And then he pulls out a list of questions on his phone to ask me, and it's the 36 questions to make someone fall in love with you. I'm not sure why this boy was trying to make me fall in love with him on the first date, but that definitely was not happening, especially since he didn't even want to pay $4.40 for a banana pudding for me. Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today's video I feel like is a pretty juicy one. I feel like it's something that people will be really interested in because I feel like everyone has had a really bad date. And I've been on a few bad dates, but the story I'm going to be telling you in this video probably takes the cake for the worst date I've ever been on. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. So this was a guy that I went on a date with off a dating app, and from his profile, he seemed like a good person. He was pretty attractive. He had a pretty good job, a strong education background. So I was like, yes, let's go on this date. Little did I know this was going to be the worst day I ever went on, but we'll get to that a little later. So we set up a time to meet up. I remember it was a Friday night. So this was during the warmer months, and so I put on this really pretty red maxi dress, and I did my makeup, I put on jewelry, I put on a little perfume. I definitely got pretty dressed up. So he picked the place that we were going to be meeting up at, and he ended up picking a dessert place, which dessert is actually one of my favorite things to get on a date because it's quick and simple, and if you're just not vibing with the person, it's easy to get out of and it doesn't cost that much money. So it's a pretty casual and easy thing to do for a first date. I also like coffee and tea first dates, but typically those are only during the day because coffee shops aren't open at night. So at night, I like to go on dessert dates. So he picked a dessert place that I had never been to. And so I show up, and I show up on time. He was 10 minutes late, which whatever, it's not a big deal. But he shows up, and he shows up in a hiking outfit. So he had hiking boots on, and he had hiking pants, hiking shirt. So it kind of looked like he just came back from hiking. I'm not really sure why he chose that outfit for a date, or maybe he did come back from hiking. I'm not really sure. I didn't ask him. But I remember the first thing he said to me was,
"You look really nice today."
And I was like, "Thank you." So we go into the dessert place, and I ended up ordering a banana pudding, and he ends up ordering a cupcake. So my banana pudding was $4.40. It was literally less than $5. His cupcake was, I believe it was $4.80, $4.90. I don't really remember, but I remember it was less than $5. So it was literally less than $10 for the both of us. And so we order together at the front. The person takes our order, and then the person walks away to get our banana pudding and banana cupcake. So then it comes time to pay at the kiosk, and then he suddenly stops. He says,
"Wait, we probably should have ordered this separately."
So he literally calls the person the person who took our order. He's like,
excuse me, can you please split this for us?"
Like across the room where people can hear. And it really gave me a bad impression because literally it's less than $10 for the both of us. Like we probably could not go on another date that was cheaper unless we just like took a walk or something, but less than $10, and he still did not want to pay for it. And I was like, okay, because what else am I going to say? The person comes over, he splits it for us. So I pay my $4.40 for my banana pudding, and he pays his $4.80 or something for his cupcake. So that itself gave me a really bad first impression. And just a side note, I just want to say that it's not a complete deal breaker for me if a guy doesn't pay on the first date, especially if we're getting dinner or lunch or something that's just more expensive. And I don't expect someone to spend a ton of money on me on a first date if they don't really know me that well. However, if it is only like a few dollars and they still don't want to pay for it, it doesn't give me the best impression. So he didn't really give me a good first impression. And when I told this story to my friends afterwards, they were like,
"You should have just gotten your banana pudding to go. You shouldn't even stay for the date."
But I don't know. I don't think I'm that type of person. So anyways, after we paid for our dessert, we left and we started walking around a park. and we sit down somewhere. So anyways, after we paid for our desserts separately, we started walking and we just started talking about things. He started asking me just some normal questions that you would ask someone to get to know them. Like, do you have any trips planned? Do you like to travel? What do you do for work? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your free time? So that itself was fine. And by the way, at this point, I was already not feeling him. And it wasn't only because he didn't pay for my $4.40 banana pudding, but he was just someone I didn't see myself getting into a long-term relationship or something serious with. So after like 20 minutes or so of him asking me these questions, and after we finished our desserts, I told him that I had to leave in 30 minutes because I just had other stuff planned for the night. And when I told him that, he was like,
30 minutes? You can't leave in 30 minutes. My dates usually last an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Clearly this boy was not really getting the hint that I'm not really feeling this and we're just not vibing. So I didn't really know how to react to that. So we continued walking and talking about something, and then we decided that we wanted to sit down because we were both tired. And then he pulls out a list of questions on his phone to ask me, and it's the 36 questions to make someone fall in love with you. I'm not sure why this boy was trying to make me fall in love with him on the first date, but that definitely was not happening, especially since he didn't even want to pay $4.40 for a banana pudding for me. So he pulls out the list of questions. He starts asking me some questions on there. I answer, and then he answers, and he hands his phone to me, and he says,
pick a question from this list to ask me.
So then I ask him a question and he answers and I answer, and he tells me that this is a better way to get to know someone than just asking the normal questions that you would normally ask to get to know someone, which I don't understand why. And I don't understand why we had to ask each other questions on this list. At this point, I was already not feeling the vibe, and I already knew that I was not going to go on another date with him. And so 30 minutes finally go by. They were the longest 30 minutes ever. And then I told him, I was like, yeah,
I really have to go. I have something to do tonight.
And so he's like,
okay.
So he walks me to the train station. Then he says,
wait, but before you leave, can I get your number? And then this way we can plan another date to go on.
Obviously, I had already made up my mind that I was not going to be seeing this boy again. And so I just said,
I'll just message you my number in the app.
And as soon as he left and I went into the train station, I unmatched him. And that was just terrible. And honestly, I think back to it and I just laugh and think how funny it is, because it was bad, yes, but I'm just happy that it was a funny bad date, because I know that some people's worst date story is something where they are in danger or they feel like they're in danger, and that's just not a situation that any of us want to be in. But I hope you enjoyed this video and got some laughs and giggles from this. Let me know in the comments if you can relate, and also let me know what your worst first date story is. And also give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.